Hi, divas! Ignore the fuck-ass VTuber model. I would really like to remake it because this one isn't as bouncy or expressive as I would like it to be, but I don't have time to do that right now because our fight is right around the corner and I'm not ready! I promised myself that I would prep super early this year so that I'm not scrambling to get things done like a week beforehand again. Did not happen. Not at all. I did a little bit of HTML coding, and I made my profile look nice, and then I also coded this cute little template for my character pages so that they look nice too, which, by the way, you can use them for free. They're free to use. They're on my toy house, link in description. I also wrote one singular character bio, and then I sat on my ass and I played Toontown for a whole month. So let's all prep for art fight together. Yay! Oh, God. If you clicked on this, I'm assuming you know what art fight is and that you're just looking for the ramblings of an insane lunatic to play in the background while you also scramble to finish your profiles last minute. We all procrastinated. Don't pretend like you didn't. I fucking see you. So what I currently need to get done is a bunch of ref sheets, namely Pyrite, Shell, and Sadie, because they're new characters, and I've already finished Hallow and Joseph's new refs. Jacob's is serviceable already, I don't really care. Doorstop's is fine, because I made that one earlier. He was the one character profile I prepped early for. I don't really care enough to update Jeff or Aaron's. I'm sorry for the whole 3 Jeff and Aaron fans. I kind of abandoned them. And I also need to finish a good few character bios. For some of them, all I need to do is just stick them into the HTML and make it look pretty, and for others, I wanted to completely overhaul and rewrite them entirely. I already got Jacob's done a little bit ago, and Joseph's will probably be done or close to it by the time this video releases, so have fun with that. I also impulsively added Sigil on a whim, so she needs a rep and bio too. Yay. I'm probably gonna have some kind of like art thing going on in the background, or like, I don't know, some gameplay or both, and I'm kind of like Family Guy clips, Subway Surfers, jingle jingle, jingle jangling keys in your face. I mean, it's not like you're looking anyway, you're probably drawing right now. So, well, whatever the fuck is happening behind me, there's a fucking bug that just flew into my eye! Oh, God! So while whatever's behind me plays in the background, let me tell you a little bit about the characters on my art fight profile. Yay! If you're new here, my interests mainly fall into horror and grimdark fantasy, so a good majority of my characters is gonna fall into that in some way. And obviously, my first choice for my team was comedy. Because I like the color orange. So first off on the roster, we got Jacob and Joseph. If you're already subscribed to me, you probably recognize these two from my animations and my endless fucking slog of MS Paint doodles. These two have been through some changes over time, especially over the last couple years or so, but I think I'm finally getting to a spot where I'm happy with them, and I would really like to one day make like a small little point-and-click adventure that involves these two, but don't expect to see any kind of a game dev updates or anything. It's just kind of a nebulous, up-in-the-air idea right now. If anything, I would probably settle on making like a webcomic or some kind of like animated shorts with them, because that would be a much lighter workload for me and my current skill set, but, you know, game would be cool too, game would be cool too. Of course, these are all going to be quick little summaries. If you want to know a little bit more about them, you'll have to check out their art fight profiles. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, ha ha ha. I don't know. I can't see what I'm doing. I don't know if I'm winking or not. As of me making this video, Jacob's profile is already finished, so I'll talk about him first. Yay! He's abhorrent. He's awful. Fuck Jacob. Jacob's somebody who's stuck in a death spiral of his own making and does not know how to get out of it. It would take a lot of self-reflection on his part and a willingness to allow others in to help him. But as someone like Jacob, that is absolutely fucking terrifying. His only real leading example growing up was celebrity gossip tabloid magazines and whatever movies and show he could get his hands on. So going into adulthood, he had a very, very distorted view of what adult life was really like. He took out a bunch of loans and kind of like wormed his way into the rich kids' social circles in college, and his clique really solidified his awful worldview. Once he graduated, he really had nowhere to go and no real friends, and he just completely fucking crashed. And now that he's at rock bottom, he is completely desperate to change the situation, and he thinks making some kind of like insane hit piece for his stupid little nobody web blog is what's gonna get him there, leading us into Joseph. Joseph is not a human being. He is an entity that survives by possessing the bodies of dead humans. Despite this, he is not intentionally malicious. Keyword is intentionally. He sees this as like a necessary evil, and unfortunately, your intentions don't always go as far as you would like. Jo works as a dental surgeon in a small rural town. She is very, very desperate for any kind of attention or admiration. To her, this is equivalent to being loved and proof that she is a real human being. In public, he tries to be very lively and friendly with everyone. His self-image is almost entirely dependent on how others view him. Unfortunately, she's been in town long enough that rumors are starting to spread. People have noticed that she doesn't really age, and those that have worked with him in private will mention that he is very, very emotionally unstable and that he clings really hard to anyone willing to give him even the time of day, to a very worrying degree. Joseph is someone who wants love and admiration and attention above all, but doesn't really know how to seek it out in a productive way, leading to a self-fulfilling prophecy where he very often chases people away and doesn't ever fully understand why or how he did it. Jacob and Jo are both in the same universe, slash story, or whatever you would want to call it. There are two characters that have a dynamic where they bring out the absolute worst in each other. They could probably have a mutually beneficial working relationship, or even like a pretty decent friendship if they both would just acknowledge where they butt heads and work on themselves, but unfortunately, that is not how it would pan out. They're idiots. Jacob is initially under the impression that he can use Joseph as some kind of like weird freak to make like an expose to get himself some kind of like notoriety. And initially, Jo is very, very easy to get eating out of the palm of his hand. But ultimately, when their worst traits start clashing into each other, Jacob realizes that he is in way over his head, especially as he notices that there is some kind of supernatural fuckery going on. I love these two a whole lot, and I would really like to add some more townspeople and Jo's co-workers, but I'm not gonna do that this year. I have a good bit on my plate as of right now. Now, onto my fantasy and D&D characters, starting with my son, Doorstop!
And we will pick apart your mind as you are breaking down. We'll continue laughing at the wrong, just a silly clown.
Doorstop is the paladin I'm currently running in an ongoing horror campaign. My friend Jules is the dungeon master, and you can actually go attack them on Art Fight too. By the way, Doorstop is my absolute favorite right now, and I would love you forever if you attacked him. I understand he's a little bit complicated to draw, and not everyone is super comfortable with drawing armor, so I totally get it if anyone opted for another one of my guys, but his page is done too. Go look at it. Go look at my son. Doorstop is a warforged, but in the homebrew world he's from, they're typically just referred to as mechs. He's a robot. He was created to be nothing more than a mindless mechanical guard for a noble family known as the Sinclairs. He was one of hundreds of identical mass-produced models designed to uphold Malkheim, a theocratic country led by the god of tech and innovation, Mammon. For reasons unknown, Doorstop suddenly gained sentience and started making steps towards becoming his own person. This really disturbed the nobles, and it was considered blasphemy for a machine to start speaking out against the wishes of the tech god. He was scrapped, but saved by another god, Bernadette. He took an oath to her, and now he lives in the town of Quickmason. He's seen as a novelty by the locals, and he has to fit in by masking his self-awareness. By the point we're at in the campaign, though, he's made friends! Yay! We have Tillman slash Ephemeral, who's been living in Quickmason posing as a priest for Mammon for years. We have Sylvie, the mechanic who is actually responsible for repairing him, and Dust, a Tabaxi highwayman. Fun fact about Dust, he knew her when she was very little. She's a daughter of the Sinclair family, and he was actually a big brother figure to her. After years, they finally reunited, and isn't that very sweet? Oh, isn't friendship beautiful? Unfortunately, we're all about to get Silent Hill 2, and our character's gonna be forced to go through this, like, fucked up hell world. Like, that's just a manifestation of the worst aspects of themselves and their insecurities. Isn't that delightful? Good luck, Doorstop! I hope you don't feel too bad about all those fucking people you killed before you were capable of making decisions for yourself, right? Good luck. Good luck, buddy. Okay, after that we need some levity. Here's a more silly one. These next few characters won't be as long because we're getting into like the newer guys slash ones I haven't really developed as much, so here's Pyrite. Pyrite is from the same homebrew world as Doorstop, but he isn't really directly involved with the campaign or its plot. He stemmed from our DM pitching an idea to us for a potential prequel where we all make gods and we run around in a one-shot that takes place right when Mammon took over. Pyrite is a trickster god. He's known as the King of Fools. And he ascended to godhood at a relatively young age and was not really ready for the responsibility that would come with that. With immortality comes an inability to age and mature, so he's just kind of forever stuck in that awkward 19 to 20-year-old mentality. He loves to play pranks on mortals and is known for impersonating the other gods. Not many people intentionally seek him out, but those that do often form warlock pacts with him, as he prefers that over a more traditional paladin or a cleric. It's not recommended to work with him long, and it's important to make sure that you have some kind of out from your contract, because he is known for running mortals around in circles until they fucking drop. Just endless frivolous tasks and constant fucking bullshit is just gonna be plaguing your life from now on. He also gets his kicks out of granting wishes, but with some kind of like ironic twist to it. He exists solely to be a nuisance, and most of the other gods fucking hate his ass. So this means that he kind of has to actually start taking things seriously for once and be extremely careful because people want him dead. It's Sigil! It's Sigil! Sigil is my wizard from a previous campaign, also ran by Jules. And I say campaign, but it was more of like a little 3-shot. Her story is more simple than Doorstop's and comes wrapped up in a neat little bow. Sigil is another Warforged. Fucking go figure, I mostly play Warforged. They're my favorite 5e race, yay! She was constructed by her father, and they have a lovely relationship, unlike every other D&D character to ever exist. She lived with him for years, and he taught her everything she knows about magic and potions, and one day she decided that she was ready to go off on her own, and was hired by a small group of very, very incompetent mercenaries. With it being her first job and how naive she was actually incredibly optimistic and excited for that. Unfortunately, they had to go to the fucking fucked up evil place or whatever. We forgot to give the place an official name, so the entire time of the campaign we were calling this like big fucked up murder mansion the Fear Location. They accepted the job under the assumption that they were clearing out skeletons from like this basement of a grand, beautiful, extravagant mansion, but as they entered the basement they got pulled into the fucking back rooms. Not actually the back rooms, but may as well be, like similar thing, like a scary fucked up pocket dimension that you can just slip into. And fortunately they all escaped after much fucking trauma and terror, and now with her father's help she will go and make out a career of helping people with rare and supernatural magical problems. I've considered making a little side project with her, some kind of episodic little comic where she helps people with horrifying monsters and shit, or maybe a little Vermis-inspired art book that documents from her perspective all of the horrible scary things that she encountered in the Fear Location. Shell and Sadie are the two newest characters that I have, so I'm sorry if there isn't much here. I'm still figuring them out, so things are subject to change, and the section will be a lot shorter than the rest. I still wanted to put them on an art fight though, because I thought they deserved some love for being so new. They're characters for an idea I had based around like home invasion and stalker horror. After the death of her grandfather, Shell inherits and moves into a large house out in the middle of nowhere, and after moving she's pretty isolated, but fortunately it's only temporary because her sister Sadie will move in soon. As Shell explores her new area and starts to like get to know the town, she meets a very, very weird and disconcerting man. She immediately clocks him as having bad intentions and starts running into him everywhere. I want to make a short little comic or book about them or something where Shell is trying to shake off this scary ass fucking man stalking her and eventually getting her sister involved to come and help her. I wanted the whole thing to culminate into a full-on home invasion, but Shell manages to get the drop on him and kick his fucking ass because he was not anticipating her sister to show up. Yay! Happy ending! They're both still very new though, so I have a lot to flesh out, and I may put the guy on art fight too, I may not. I have a lot of characters to work on, so most likely not this year. If you see him, surprise. Lastly, I got my little extra guys, characters that I'm not doing a whole lot with, but still have added to my art fight for variety. You might recognize Jeff and Aaron if you've watched my videos for a really long time. They're cute, they're fluffy, they're madly in love, and they're not from anything too serious or developed. Admittedly, they just kind of exist for me to draw, being cute and nice to each other when I feel sad. Jeff is a werewolf. He works as a math teacher too. Aaron is his lovely fiance, who has this weird shadow face thing going on. Nobody really knows why. If you ask him, he makes up like a different thing every time. Something something witches, something something curse, something something firstborn son. He wasn't really paying attention. I also have my little Toontown character, Sergeant Buckshot. He just exists to be a goofy little guy. I just like him. He's an absolute menace, and I would love to see any kind of like stupid slapstick with him. His whole gimmick is that he was a cartoon character intended for adults, but he ended up in Toontown. Think Conker's Bad Fur Day. He arrived in Toontown because he heard that they were fighting the Cogs, but he was not anticipating it to be so family-friendly here, and as a result, he comes off as a little intense to other toons, and he can be seen doing not very toony things like smoking cigars or drinking out of a comedically labeled XXX alcohol bottle. He also calls everyone private for some reason. Lastly, and certainly the absolute least, my persona! This stupid thing that you're looking at right now. Oh, it's all like fucking purple and shit. It's got like candy corn. Ew, what is that? He's just me, but cartoonishly exaggerated. The fucking gnome that I hate. There's not much to say about him. He's fucking stupid. I hate him. And that is it for everybody right now. I hope you enjoyed hearing about my stupid little freaks, and if you attack me, consider also attacking one of my friends or mutuals. They're linked in on my art flight. You'll see them. You'll see their little profile icons. I've also been working on a ton of animations, and I'm really excited to start pumping those out soon. I just gotta clear up my commission queue first, responsibilities and all that. Gotta be an adult. Oh, and before you go, consider telling me about your favorite characters in the comments, especially if they're on Art Fight. Wink. I might attack them. Wink. If I have the time. You know how it is, like having like a job and shit. Do all the YouTube things. Like and subscribe or whatever. I draw and animate. I will also have my art fight linked in the description. Yay! Happy art fighting!
I wish I could bring milk and cereal in the car without making such a mess.
Introducing the Crunch Cup. Now you can take your milk and cereal on the go.